Hello, everyone across the world. That would mean good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night, even. My name is Holly Demott, and I am your host tonight and your trainer for Empowerment Tuesday. Gosh, that last video was talked about how here it is. We've arrived. And I thought that with the tour. So we just ended the Midwest tour and the North America tour. And now the Asia tour is happening right now as we speak. I love seeing all of the pictures. I'm having FOMO. I don't know about any of you if you're having FOMO, but I am. And I'm like, wow, being on a tour in Asia would be magnificent. So mark that for next time for me. So you guys, the tour was great in North America. Just to give you guys a little bit, Kim was on fire every single event. The leaders showed up. We got to hear different leaders do the op meetings. And I learned from that. So I always love learning from other people and taking little things that they're doing that I get input into how I present and how I talk with people. And of course, the training, I have notebooks full of notes for that. And so all of you that were there, you know what I mean. And all of you that were not, get to convention. We have convention in Anaheim. That's our next big event after the Asia tour. My advice is get in the seats there. You're going to feel it. If you weren't in Salt Lake City, if you were in Salt Lake City, but these events are what build belief. This is what really ignites that fire, that activation that we already have in us. And it really helps us go to the next level. So if you're on the fence with it, really ask yourself, like, what do I want from 3? What do I want from my business? Why am I doing this? And really get clear with those answers. And those answers, then look at those and say, is it worth it for me? Yes, financially, time-wise, for me to spend 2 days in Anaheim with the 3 family, learning, getting excited, get ready to learn my why, like expand that why and really go for it. So that's only on you for decide that. I know my decision. I cannot wait. And I really do hope to see you there. Well, this call is not about Anaheim. This call is all about enrolling. It's all about plugging people in. And I'm going to go through a training with you. And this is a training that Kim talked about at every single stop. And it's congruent. And like a confused mind does nothing, right? So when we're clear on what we're doing, we're clear on the steps to success, we're clear on enrolling someone and what do I tell them to do? And that's a common question that we get. Now what? I enrolled them. Now what do I do? And I'm going to show you steps to start people. I'm going to show you steps for you to start. I've had many people that have been in the business a few months now, and I've had them start with these 4 steps because I want them to start fresh. I go, let's start fresh. Fresh feels good, right? And we're right now into fall. Fall is a really fresh feeling. So it is all about helping, yourself launch, and it's helping your people to launch. And it is the enrollment cycle. I've been in network marketing for over 13 years now. And I just want to preface this for everyone, especially if you're brand new, or even if you've been, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and you're like, I just don't know if I'm good at this. It takes practice. And the more you commit, you're like, I am committed to practicing this. I'm committed to getting good at this. I'm a yogi. I love yoga. And I am not the best yogi. Okay. But you know what? I show up, I'm on the mat, and I practice, and I'm not hard on myself. And that's exactly really what this cycle right here is. It's all about applying yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Just know you're learning and you're getting better and you're doing it over and over and over again. Okay, so let's look how to activate. And the activate word represents so much. We're talking about activating your business. We're talking about activating everything that is already here for you, but you need to light it up. You need to start the fire and you need to activate it. Okay, so the process is 4 steps. And this is it, like simplify it, right? This is what Kim went over on the tour. And it made so much sense to me. I had to come back and re engineer what I was doing. And I already feel a difference. I already see a difference because of the simplicity and getting into action right away. So, the very first step is watch the NDO, the new distributor orientation. I helped Samson with presenting this. And I will tell you that I even forgot how great it was. I actually replayed it once Kim started talking about it more. And I'm like, wow, there is really great information on here that a new person needs to know. Talking about the back office, talking about our business in three, talking about how to get started, the cycle, talking about where to find things in the back office. It's all on this presentation right here. So that's the very first step when you enroll someone, or if you're brand new, your first step is to watch the NDO. And once you've watched that, take notes. I always say take notes because if you have some additional questions, you want to ask your sponsor and upline, hey, I didn't understand this part. Just keep note when we talk. I want to like ask you more about that. Take notes, but you're going to get so much of empowerment just from watching that to know what you're doing and what you're a part of. And really where it's going to come in to help is you're going to be using terms that people already in three in this business, your sponsor, your upline, they're going to be using those terms and you're going to know what they mean. And you're going to be able to have a conversation and navigate through this process and everything and say, okay, I saw CV on there. I know what that is. I understand this. So it really makes the conversation go really well with training, with you getting trained. And for all of us the enrolling people, start with this with your people. The second step is to make a list of 50 people. 50 people. You can go more than that. You could do 250 people. You can do 150 people. Simply, though, on this step, do 50 people. Make a list of 50. And I will give you some tips of my own. Do not prejudge people when you're making out this list. You can do it on a notebook, piece of paper. You can just fill out 50 people, mark it 1 through 50, and start writing down names. Don't prejudge because we never know where someone may be in their life. We don't know people's bank accounts. They may have an appearance that everything is so great in their world that they may be financially strapped. And an opportunity like this, they're praying for. So absolutely do not prejudge. And I also like to don't prejudge of like, oh, they need this. Like it's not I don't use the word need with people because I simply really want to show this to everyone. And those that feel gravitated toward it, those are the people I want to talk with. Those are the people that I'm a match to, right? Like I want to be a match to the people that are positive. They want change, whether it's with their health or it's with their finances. And I would, tell all of you guys to do the same. Who do you want to attract into your business? And a lot of the times it is a mere reflection of who we're attracting. Like how I show up every day is really who I'm attracting into my business. If I say I want a 6-figure business, I better have some 6-figure habits. I better get up and, work my business, be on the phones talking to people, following this process, working with people to have that. So think about your actions with that. And think about that when you're making your list of people. Who are people that are successful in my life that I would love to spend more time with? Who are people that I absolutely love? And I know they would be mad if I did not offer this business or these products to them. So the list of 50 you can expand that. Have fun. I always tell people, have fun with it. I love to have fun with work. And this list gets to be a lot of fun. The next step is to start your top 10. So your top 10 are the people that you're looking at on the list going, okay, absolutely. I want to make sure I talk to them. It may be the top realtor in your city. And you're like, I love how they represent themselves. I'm going to star them. I don't know what I'm going to say to them yet, but I'm going to star them. I want you to think that. I don't want your head to go into What am I going to say? How am I going to approach them? Because that's the next step. You're going to have help with that. So star the top 10 people that, again, you want to be around, people that you want to talk with first about this. And my top 10 always includes people, it's family. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk with them first, especially if I know that they're going to want to know what I'm doing. And I will say some family's tough. It is. So your family may not be on the top 10 list. So use that as a guide, your list of 50, and then starring your top 10. So what you're going to do with those top 10, now that you've done the new distributor orientation, you've made your list, you've started your top 10, that is, and this is in Kim's words when we were meeting, she's like, that's your ticket. Like, that's your ticket to get coaching and help with your sponsor and your upline. So everyone that's new watching, that's your ticket. So do those steps and then meet with your sponsor and upline. And what you're going to do is you're going to curate an approach, because people are unique. And one may want to be, you may want it to be a face-to-face meeting that you're meeting with them the first time to introduce this. Others may be Facebook Messenger. Others may be a text. Others may be a video of you. Really, you're going to tailor it to the person. And I don't cookie cutter, copy paste does not work for me. I've tried that. I've tried that. I remember the exact time that I did that. And I just kind of had this icky feeling in my stomach. And it was like, I just didn't feel good because I just felt like I was trying to get it done and it wasn't personalized. Like, we are in the relationship business. We're in the relationship business. So think about that when you're creating your messages. This is a relationship. Whether they take a look at 3 now or they take a look at it in a few months or a year, that relationship is important. So treat that with respect. And when you meet with your sponsor to do this bottom step right here, to really create an approach, then your sponsor is going to also help you with verbiage. I love the verbiage piece of it. I didn't always love it. I didn't, but the more I started pouring into it, and I want to give you all a format. This is a format that has worked well for me for years and years and years and years. And it took a while, though, to get to this format, but it's simple. It's so simple. So get your pens out to write this part down. When I reach out to someone, whether it's a voice or it's calling them, I love calling people. I love that piece. I think there's an interaction there that gets lost sometimes when we're emailing or texting, possibly. So I always like to say, when I first call, hey, how are you? But hey, there's a reason I'm calling, but I want to know how you are. I like to open it with that. So it's not only all my agenda. Like, I truly want to know how they are. Okay. Another way than what I would lead into, whether it's text or a call, I'd say, I thought of you because, and I always love to tell people why I thought of them. And I may bring up a memory of how I know them. I may bring up some silly thing of why I thought of them. Like, I always like to write that down on the list. So when you have your list and you have the names, you can write down, how do you know them? And just say, why did I think of them? And then have that just be a pure thought that it may be somebody you just met in Starbucks. And you're like, oh, I got to reach back out to them, or hey, I need to follow up with them. Say what attracted you to talk with them, what even ignited that conversation. Maybe you guys were laughing over something you ordered, and say why you thought of them. Be like, hey, I had a great conversation with you, and it was a fun interaction. And you know what? I thought you may really like my business. It may or may not be a fit for you, but I would love it if you would be open to taking a look. So I would say something like that. So it's not awkward, because we could definitely make this awkward. So I like to make it as human as possible with being real. And so I thought of you because this may or may not be a fit for you. Would you be open? If I sent you a video, would you be open to taking a look? So there's the 3 steps. Thought of you because this may or may not be a fit. So right there, you're kind of taking the pressure off of them, that you're putting pressure on them that it has to be a fit. And then they're thinking, well, yeah, but what if it is a fit? And they may want to look at it more. And then you're going to end with, would you be open? Would you be open to taking a look? And anybody I ask that to, I'd like to think they have an open mind, and if they don't have an open mind and it's a polite no, then you may ask for a referral. If it's a no, are you kidding me? Then move on. But most people are open. The if I would you, so that's another great way to ask someone. So if I were to share this amazing product video, would you take a look? If I were to share one of our global showcases, would you take a look? If I were to invite you to my home event, would you be able to come? Would you come? Would you be open to come? So that lingo is magical. If I, and then would you? And if you have kids or even your spouse, try it with them. Say, if I made spaghetti tonight for dinner, would you eat it? There's just something a little non-committal about how you phrase that. So that's worked really well. So these are the 4 steps. Simple, right? These are very simple. And then let's go into the tools. So there's a toolbox right there. And this made so much sense when Kim talked about this with tools, because there's the screw, there's the Phillips, there's the nail, there's all kinds of different tools like that. Well, it takes a different tool to use those. It's going to take a screwdriver, right? It's going to take a Phillips. It's going to take a hammer. So that's the same thing. Think of that with everyone you're talking with. It takes a different tool. Some people may really, really resonate with Wellness Wednesday. Like that may be like their aha, where they're like, yes, these are for me. I want to get involved with this and look at the professionals involved with the doctors on here. I want to be a part of this. It may be that. Someone else may be more local, face to face. They may love meeting you for coffee. They may love meeting you at a home event. I talk home events because I think they work great. We do a lot of them and they're amazing. It may be a local event though, like what's going on right now in Asia on the roadshow. So different tools are going to resonate with people. This is not all of the tools. I just listed 5 that are popular, and there's many tools. And ask your sponsor, ask your upline, ask them, say, what do you like to share with people? And see what works for them, see what's working well for them, because you want to have a toolbox. I like to keep my tools in my notes section of my phone. That way, if I'm sharing a video right away, I can just copy and paste and I can send it right to them, and there's not much of a waiting time. So have your tools ready to go. And when the tools come into play is over here, this part right here. Once you're creating that approach and then you approach them, and if they're open, that's when they see the tool. Okay, continuing on into the cycle. So this is the cycle. This is the enrollment cycle. And we do this over and over and over again. Some people may say, gosh, over and over again, that's mundane. It's really not. I like to keep this exciting and it's fun because every person's different. Every person's different. And this is what we do. This is our cycle. Again, it's very simple, but it's about mastering these steps. So the connect piece of it is you have that curated approach that you're creating with your sponsor or your upline. Okay. And that's going to be that connect piece. And even when you're connecting with them, then you're identifying interests. You're asking about their life. And you're going to find gaps that may be in their life that they talk about. They may automatically just say, oh, my job, People pour information out. People love to talk about themselves. They truly do. However, we have to listen. We have to ask questions and listen. So identify interests and find out what they're looking for. Find that gap in their life, what they're missing. And that comes with conversation. Some will be longer than others, some may be really short. And then you invite them to an event. So the event is the tools, it's that toolbox. And the events are what you're going to use to promote, teach, and empower entrepreneurs. We're all entrepreneurs with how to thrive in this business. So the events are the tools, and you can call them exposures also. It takes several exposures. If someone sees one video and you ask them this follow-up question right down here, what sparked your interest the most? That's an open-ended question. So they answer, and I've asked that question, and people have actually came to me because they've watched the Zoom, and I like to say on the Zoom, get back to the person who had you watch this and let them know what you liked best. It's an open-ended question. So instead of asking a closed-ended question would be like, did you like the Zoom? They're going to answer yes or no. Okay. So I'm not advising you to ask that. What I would love for you to ask to move your business forward, move this cycle forward quicker, is what sparked your interest the most? What did you like most about the video that I shared with you? And that's going to get them talking. They may say, oh, I love the collagen and how you cycle with it. They may say, hey, I love the 27,000 a week that you could earn. I saw that on the cycle one, the team one. You never know what they're going to say. So ask open-ended questions and then absolutely let them know, I can show you how to get started. And I feel like people want to belong. They want to be a part of something. And when you genuinely invite them and tell them, I would love to work with you. I would absolutely love to link arms. Imagine what we could do together, And so I love inviting people in so they know that I care and they know that I want to work with them. And what you could also add in here when you talk business is we have a system. You all just saw the system. It's the 4 steps. We have a system for them to immediately plug into. As soon as you start, I'll have you watch the new distributor orientation, and that's going to be your very first step. It's going to unlock your potential with this. Okay, so follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. It truly is. This is something that I was not good at. I needed a lot of help here, and I probably still do. I know that this is where the fortune is, because we often may have reached out to people and then we lost track and we don't know where they're even at in the process. We don't even know if they watched the video because we never followed up. And that is one of the biggest mistakes that I do see made. And that's where we can do amazing with it. So follow up is when you're reaching out to all the people that you've given an exposure to, whether it's a live event, whether it's a video, whether it's a product usage guide, because they asked about that, whatever it may be, then you follow up. And then most likely you're going to have to add another tool, another exposure, and say, you know what, let me send you this 10-minute video with Dr. Alicia. It's 10 short minutes. I know you saw one of the videos that had it on there also. This is going to give you another view. And especially if they're asking about product, if they have a lot of product questions, then I absolutely use the Dr. Dan 50-minute video. So you're going to use multiple tools to follow up with people. And the goal here, the goal is not to get them. You guys, people can feel that energy. When people are out to get people, they feel it. And it's actually repulsive. I'll give you an example. I personally love cars. I love nice cars. However, I do not like going to buy a nice car or any car because I feel like I'm being sold. I feel like that car salesman just wants to get a sale that day and meet one of his quota or her quota. And I don't feel great about it at all. There are some great car salesmen out there though that have made me feel good, but I've learned from that experience and applied it to this. I want people to feel really good. I want them to feel like I'm helping to give them enough information to make a decision. And that is what we're doing. So this number of exposures right here with goes back to how the events, how much information they're seeing, that is helping them to get closer to make a decision. And one of the questions I love to ask to really understand, some people may just need one exposure because the excitement and the founder level, and here we are, it's going. And I share that excitement with them, and some are like, weren't even thinking of a founder pack. They just wanted products. And then here we started talking, and now they're coming with a founder. That's happened over and over and over again. So absolutely mention the founder pack and mention it with excitement. Okay, so one of the questions I love to ask is, what additional information do you need to get started today? What additional information would you like to get started today? So, and then most people think about it and they're like, actually, no, I have enough. I've had people do that, say, actually, no, I have enough. I go, perfect. I can show you how to get started right now. And whether I send my link or I do it myself with them right there, either or. And you may have your preference. The link's been really easy for me recently. I'm like, here's my link. And that's worked well, but I love enrolling people myself too. I love it. I love the feeling of getting an enrollment. I do. But that is just one of the steps. Enrolling is just the starting step for them. So now what I have to do is put my hat on and say, okay, they just trusted me to come in and they ordered products. Now I've got to train them. So I'm not just going to be a sponsor monster. Like, I don't want to be that. Yes, we want to sponsor a lot of people, but I want to make sure that they're connected to our process here. And so that's where the training comes in. And we have that set up for you. Those 4 steps are the first 4 steps that's going to get them going. And so enroll and train, enroll with the proper pack, and plug into the 4 steps. Okay, you guys got it, right? This is as simple as it gets, and it's over and over again, and you get better and better each time that you do it. Okay, what else do I have? Activate. So ending with, this is about activating you. Every single one of us has a very special gift in this business, and we are founders at 3. Like, do you guys all realize that? Like, you're a part of a movement like that's never been done before, ever. And we all are in this same position where we're all going through the 4 steps. We're all following this process. And absolutely talk with your sponsor, talk with your upline to curate those messages. If you've done messages before and you're like, Holly, I've done these and I'm still kind of stuck. I want you to start over. I want you to start fresh. I want you to watch the NDO. I want you to put down any baggage from any experience that you had that did not serve you, where you didn't get the outcome that you wanted. I want you to put it down, and I want you to step into, I'm starting fresh, and watch the NDO, take notes, act like it's your day one. Connect with your why. Connect with, why am I doing this? Again, why are you going to Anaheim? Connect with that and make that decision. There's something that happens in the universe, in the air, when you make a decision. Have you had that happen before? I have. Like, I've made a decision to move even. I've moved a lot. And it's like, once I make that decision, all of a sudden I start getting introduced to people of where I'm moving. Like, that decision is powerful. So make the decision, start fresh. For everybody out there, use the process. I'll go back to it one more time. Here it is, the 4 steps. Watch the NDO, make a list of 50, star your top 10, and then meet with your sponsor and upline to curate an approach. Re-listen to this if you want to write down some of the lingo that I used and, have conversations about that. What works for you? What are you saying as follow up that works for you? And find your sweet spot. Find your sweet spot with how you like to do this entire process because we're all unique. And I can't wait to celebrate all of you in Anaheim. Can't wait to see everyone. So thank you for joining tonight. Thank you for your Tuesday night empowerment. Tuesday is what this is. And I look forward to seeing you in a month. Okay. Bye, everyone.